Hello, welcome to our demo. We want to show you the Veertly platform. I'm Joao, co-founder of Veertly.
And my name is Alex, also one of the co-founders of Veertly. We're really excited to have you here. And to start off, we're going to share with you what we are going to show you today. So the first part of the demo will be the attendee view. So how the attendees of your event will see the platform, how they can update their profile, and so on. The second view will be the moderator view. So how you, as the host, will see the event, the options that you have to moderate and to change the parts of the event within the platform. The third part will be how to attend as a speaker. So if you're inviting external speakers, how they will see the platform. And last but not least, we will share with you the cockpit management. So the cockpit is the back end where you can basically set up the event, how you configure all of that, and also where you have a dashboard about information, how your attendees behaves on the event, and some more insights about the event itself. So 4 parts, and I think we'll just getting started directly with the first part, the attendee view. Welcome to this first part of the demo where we show you how to attend the Veertly platform as an attendee. So when you are organizing an event, your attendees will get a link that will bring them to this event page where you have the image of the event, of course, the date, the title, you can link to a website, and then, of course, you have an event description, and you can embed much more like a video, but also images, sponsor logos, and much more. Your attendees can then simply click Join Event, where they have multiple options to sign in. And if they sign in as a guest, all that is required is to put in their first name. So it can be quite anonymous, and that's also for data privacy reasons that we are not asking for much more. So I can simply put here my name, Alex. I could also update a picture, add a last name, my email address, job title, also have my LinkedIn profile there so that people can directly connect with me on those sites. But if I don't want to add more, I can simply say update profile, and you will automatically then enter the event. When you enter the event, the first part that appears for all attendees is our tutorial to help them to navigate within the platform. They can skip the tutorial, but you can also just click through it. And especially the first step or second step here is quite important to allow the browser access to the camera and microphone. If they're not allowing it, then it will be hard for them to join a room or the networking discussion with their videos on. As I said, you can here then move to the next areas. You can choose the camera that you want to have. You can also choose the microphone that you want to use, and then play a test sound to hear if it's correct, and then simply click Save, and those options will be saved. Next, when they enter, they can update their profile. So everyone will be able, I'm now skipping this tutorial, but if you click on your profile picture later on, you have the option to update your profile. What's happening now here, there's an announcement popping up showing information about the event that you can send to all your attendees in the whole platform. It's now gone again. I could have clicked it away, but this you can also use, for example, to thank your sponsors and to navigate the users so that the attendees know that they immediately feel welcome and they know what to do. As said, they can simply update their profile on the top right. By saying edit profile, I could now add, for example, my last name as well, and say update, and now my profile would be updated. Furthermore, all the attendees have the options to change the language. We have currently different languages. You can switch from all of those. The default is always their default browser language. So usually they don't have to change anything, but if they want to, they can. So the first area where they enter here is the welcome area, or lobby, how we call it. And in this welcome area, your attendees will again see some information about the event, but you can also share here the agenda. You can share the different tracks of your event that you might have. You can highlight the speakers that will be on the stage, and much more. The next area that your attendees will have here on the left-hand side is the main stage. And I'm now going to enter the main stage. And basically, this is the main area of the event where you can now see here basically the live stage where, in this case, Elon Musk is presenting the Cybertruck. So imagine this would be an event on Veertly. The people come in, they join the main stage, and they will see the live stage, Elon Musk talking. This is now a live stream, but if you have smaller events, you can also have a video call. The next area that you have here is the rooms. And on the room section, you have a lot of options how to customize this area to make it really fit your needs. Basically, what you see here first is the different categories. So you can group your rooms, basically your breakout rooms, into certain categories. As you can see here now, we have one area that's called use cases, where we present the different use cases for which Veertly can be used for. So it can be used for your events, your meetups, can even be used for as a virtual co-working space, but it's also really nice for hackathons and startup weekends, and much, much more. So this section, you can just check out which kind of use cases we have. Later on, you can go through the event and check out the different areas. Let's go into the workshop area. In the workshop area, you can see that we can embed different applications into a room. And I can see that my co-founder, Joao, is hanging out in the Google Docs room. Let me join him there. So I'm joining the room simply by clicking on it. Again, I allow my camera access. And now I'm here in the call directly with Joao. Hi, Joao.
Hey, Alex.
And we can now collaborate together here on this Google document. So if he writes something, I can see it, and I can also have all the functionalities that you usually have on Google or on anything else. So now I can see Joao writing in real time. That's just one example how you can use those areas. You can see here Padlet, Miro, Google Drive, Slido. There's a lot of elements that you can embed in a room. So feel free to check it out later yourself. Furthermore, if you're not having a workshop, but maybe a virtual fair, a career fair, or another fair where you have sponsors, let's check out the booth area, how this will look like for your attendees. And I'm entering now this 3D booth room. And basically here again, you have on the right-hand side, you have a video call. And here on the left-hand side, you can embed 3D worlds where your attendees can walk around the different 3D worlds and interact with the content itself. So highly interactive, highly engaging for your attendees. Also another example, if they don't have such a 3D world, you can simply embed a YouTube video or any website that you want to have. Here again is a 3D booth, how this could look like. You can embed any content, so you don't need to create anything from scratch, but we can really embed what you already have or your sponsors. Again, as said, you can have videos, you can have YouTube videos, but much, much more. So feel free to check out the rooms area yourself later on. There's much to explore. You can also embed games. You can have different video tools embedded. So as basic standard, we have Jitsi, but if you want to use Zoom for each of your rooms, no problem. You can always embed a Zoom call, but also other applications like Wonder, Tramber, Gather Town, you name it. Basically, a lot of different platforms are easy, directly integratable, and embeddable in those rooms. If you have a long conference, why not embedding a order food platform where your attendees get a voucher code and can directly order some food on the platform without having to leaving the site? Just some ideas that we have here as well, so go and check them out. The next area is the networking area. So I'm now going to enter this networking area by saying, yes, I'm leaving this current conversation. And I can already see that there's now, again, Joao hanging out, but also Elon Musk. His presentation is over on the main stage, and I could now directly start a conversation with him. If there would be more people, I can also get more suggestions from other people, but I'm now just starting to talk to Joao. Joao just started the conversation with Peter, so I can see that they're in a conversation. I could just click on them and say, start conversation. So that's a networking discussion. Hi, Joao. Hi, Peter. Yeah, it's Joao twice. But yeah, you can also as well check this out later on. In the networking area, you can also have different elements like Wonder integrated. You can have one-on-one speed dating and speed networking integrated. So we're really flexible on that end for your attendees. Speed data draw by. You can just leave the conversation and see who else is available and start talking to the next person. On the attendees pane, your attendees will be able to see all the attendees that are in the event. It looks similar to the networking area if you check it out, but also the main stage. But this is always showing only who's on the main stage and who's on the networking area. And on the attendees pane, you have all the attendees in the whole event. If I now want to, for example, connect with Joao more, I can send him a personal message, start a video call with him, or also check out his LinkedIn profile, for example. And I could directly connect with him. Also see some more information about him. Let's send him a message. I want to send him a private message. What's happening next is that you can see here, we move now automatically to the chat tab and into a conversation with Joao. I can send him a message. Meeting you. And he will get this personal message. And I can also check out what is written in the global chat, which is available for everybody. So Elon Musk welcomed everybody to this demo event. And now see that, oh, there was this little one popping up. And I can now see that Joao sent me a reply and I can get back to him. You see all your personal conversations in this overview here. And as I said, you have this global chat. Furthermore, the host can launch, like you as the host, you can launch polls for your event. Now can go and check out the different polls that are currently live. And you can see that there are 2 live polls. So what is your favorite food? And I can now just select any option. And as a German, I need to say Schnitzel. So I vote for the Schnitzel, and you can immediately see the results. You can also create other polls that will pop up for your attendees. Maybe we'll see that in a second, that there is a poll popping up. And furthermore, one more area is the social wall. The social wall is an area where you can have a Twitter live feed of a certain hashtag. So you can define a hashtag, and all tweets about this hashtag will be shown in this Twitter social wall. A really cool feature, especially for hybrid events. Now you can see here another poll that is being launched. Is it cloudy, sunny? How's the weather? For me, it's currently sunny when I'm looking out. So you can immediately see the live results, and all your attendees can participate in the poll. If your attendees have any questions, any technical issues, they can always use this help button here at the bottom, where they have the basic FAQs to how to access the camera and microphone and so on. But there's always also the option to reach out to our live chat, where you can, first of all, have a help desk to find more answers to any questions, but also can send messages. Hey, I have a question. And our live support team will be able to support you, support your attendees with those inquiries that they might have. Yeah, I think that's basically it. It's important to mention that you can always, for all your attendees, they can always switch between the different areas here without leaving the current area. And for example, if I now want to go back to the main stage, I could click on it. Another really cool feature is that, for example, I'm now still in the networking area. You can see this because it's here highlighted in green. I'm still in the networking area, but I could now also follow what is happening on the main stage. So we are now allowing here this mini player that is now popping up for the attendees, which is basically showing the live stage in a small player. It's currently muted. I can unmute it. I can change the size of the player to make it bigger, and watch what Elon Musk is telling currently on stage.
Welcome to the Cybertruck unveil.
If I don't like it, I can always close it. And if I want, I can then reopen it, going back to the main stage with this little icon and having it in a larger mode. This is a really cool feature if you don't need the full attention of all your attendees, but they can be in the rooms, they can be in the networking area, and still following with one eye what is happening. A really, really cool feature. That's the view of the attendees. And next up, we will show you how you can customize the platform within the Veertly platform here as the host and as an organizer of the event.
Hello, everybody. Now I'm going to show you the moderator view of your host's inside event and how you can manage all the participants and all the features inside Veertly while your event is up and running. So the first part that we're going to show is the main stage. In case you have a live stream, in order to show the live stream to the attendees, you need to make it live, because otherwise they will only see this animation while the live stream is not yet live. As a host, you can also send a preview live stream to make sure that it's running correctly. And here we have the Elon Musk presentation of the Cybertruck. But if you want to make it full screen for everybody, you cannot forget to go live. Just click go live, and after a few moments, everybody will see the same thing as you are seeing. In case it's a conference call, this change is not needed. This is about the main stage. Now let's go to the rooms. How can you create new rooms, new categories, and create and adjust the event to your needs? So you can see from the previous presentation, you have different categories with rooms inside. So let's create one more category. Here, the first thing that you need to say is the title. So let's put team workshops. You can also specify the URL of this category in order to be more customized to your needs. You can put the title, oh, this one is used, so team workshops. You can say that the attendees are allowed to create rooms inside this category or not. So for example, if you want to have a category where your participants can create different rooms for the different topics, so a free space area, you can just enable it and all your attendees will be able to create a category. And now you can customize the look and feel of this category. You can upload your own picture, or you can get some suggestions from this library. So let's find something. It can be this one. You can also change the colors if you want it to have a different look and feel. So you can really customize your category. You created, it will appear at the bottom. Now the category is empty, so you can create rooms inside this category. Let's create one category, one room with a whiteboard. So, team A. In order to create a room, the first thing you need to say is the room name. You can add descriptions on this room. You can have rich text on the descriptions. You can add a video here as well. So you can really customize the first impression of the participants with your room. And then you can associate this room with different categories. Right now, as I created this room inside this category, it's automatically selected. Or you can add any other category that exists already in the event. And as you've seen from the previous demo, you can have rooms that are just video calls, so you don't need to add any application, or you can add applications for your room so that your attendees can collaborate together and use those applications. So let's create one application, which will be the whiteboard. In order to create an application, you need to state the name of that application, just a label, and you can put the URL for your application. This will be embedded in the room, and your participants will be able to enter into that application at the same time that they are on a video call. You can also add a video stream if you want. So for that, you need to choose the video player, or you can also just add a normal image. So let's add this whiteboard application. When you add an application, you have one setting, which is to say if you want to enable video calls at the same time as you have your application running. So you can select it or just keep it unselected if you want application or not. Another setting that you can do is to say if you want your participants to automatically join the video call, or they will need to click a button before entering the video call. So let's make it automatically. And before creating, I want to show you also the advanced configuration. On the advanced configuration, you can specify the amount of participants that are allowed to be in this room at the same time. If you have a video call, In order to have a good quality, you should pay attention also to the amount of participants based on the capabilities of the video system. You can also configure your room URL in order to have a more customized URL at the top, and you can restrict access to your room for participants that have a specific tag. Further configuration that you can do is to hide this room for participants at the top that don't have access, or instead of using our own video server provider, you can use a Zoom call, for instance, if you want to use a Zoom meeting. So let's create with the default settings, and the room is automatically created here. So when you join the room, you'll see that you enter immediately on the whiteboard, and at the same time you are in a video call, so you can work together with your teammates. And you see that Alex just joined. Hi, Alex. So let me leave and show you how the other moderator functionalities that we have. If you go to the participants section, so if you click on any participant as a moderator, you can give them different rights. So let's see Alex here. You can see that you can promote him as a host, you can set him as a speaker, you can set the tags of these participants, or you can move it to another location inside the event. On the chat part, you also have some moderation features, which is to pin a message and archive some message. So let's pin this first message, this one here from Elon Musk. You can, by clicking on these three dots that appear there, you can pin or archive the message. So if you pin, the message will be shown here at the top, and if you archive, they will disappear from the list of the global chat. Now, you can also give more interactions to your participants through the polls. In order to create polls, you can either simply create a poll via this button, or you can previously create a poll, save them as a draft, and edit them again. So let me show this one that's already created here. So here you can see that you have the different possibilities of the polls edition, and you can create the different options on the poll. So, or you can add more options as you want. So let's create one more option. And when you create the pool, you can also notify all the attendees. This will make a pop-up appear on the screen when the poll is launched. You can say that the poll is anonymous. So by default, this is selected. So the votes are not tracked by the participants, but you can unselect, and all the votes will be tracked, and you can download the results on the cockpit. And in order for the participants to see the different polls that exist, you can say that the results are visible directly after voting, when the poll is closed, or they are never visible for the participants. So let's launch the poll, and the poll is launched as you can see. Great. Let me show you the broadcast message that you have seen also popping up when you enter the previous demo. On this one, you can create a normal broadcast message by clicking that button, or you can save them as drafts, and so that you can prepare your event in advance, and afterwards you can just edit them and publish when you want. So the broadcast message allows you to add rich text and send this notification to the attendees. You have different functionalities here, where you can add videos, normal rich text, but you can also add buttons that will allow you to guide the users to different areas inside the event. So you can, for example, create a new button. You can, this one here. You can create a new button. You can say, for example, room hey. And here you can say which room you want to point them, or which area of your event, like main stage, networking, and so on. We had already created one here, so let's keep it like that. You can specify the duration of the broadcast. So this is the time that the message will appear for your attendees. By default, it's 30 seconds, but for example, if you want to show a welcome message to your attendees, you can set a larger amount of, a longer duration here, and the broadcast message will appear whenever the participants join their event. Or you can also schedule the message to be shown at a specific date and time. So let's just publish, and the message is visible for everybody. So let's go back to the main stage, and you just need to click the button. I hope this explains you all these functionalities that you have on to configure and interact with your participants. And the last one that I want to show you is the Manage Attendees feature that we have here. So as a host, you can click on your avatar, you can go directly to the cockpit, which is the backend administrator of your event, or you can click Manage Attendees. On the Manage Attendees, you can force all users inside the event to move to the main stage. Simply click there, and you can you can filter from which areas inside the event you want them to be moved from. For example, the backstage, if you don't want to move the speakers from the backstage to the main stage, you can unselect, or another support room if you have it, you don't want to move it, they will not be moved. And you can also select if you want to include the hosts in the move and the speakers as well in this move or not. You click and all participants will be moved at that time. If you want to control to where the participants would like to move them, you can use the shuffle attendees. So the shuffle attendees allows you to move all participants that are on the areas that are selected here on the left side, and shuffle them between the areas that are selected here on the right side. So for example, if you want to move everybody to a specific room, you can unselect everything and just select that room. Or if you want to spread them between these 4 rooms, they will be evenly distributed between these 4 rooms. Similar as we had on the main stage moving, you can also include or exclude the hosts and speakers from this move. If you want to have more granular possibilities on the move, you can go to this view, which allows you to drag and drop the participants around. For example, I want to drag myself to a different area. You just click there, and this will be dragged. You drag the participant, and they will be moved around. And when it's finished, you can click Move Attendees, and they will be moved to the locations as they are on this view. Alternatively, if you want to just find a participant, you can click again on Manage Attendees and search a specific attendee. If I search for Alex, I can see the 2 users that Alex have on this event, and you can click on his user and click on the settings and move to, and on this place you can select again the area where you want to move the participant to individually. That ends this part of the demo, where you can see all the moderator features that you have as a host of the event. And next, we will also see how to manage the cockpit and all the extra configuration possibilities that you have for your event.
Now going to show you the third part of the demo, how your speakers will have the event and how they will see it from their perspective. And this will be a really short one because we have shown you already a lot, and this is going to be really quick. So I'm currently a speaker, and if I'm going to also the overview of all attendees, I can see that Joao is a host, but I don't have any additional rights at the moment. And oh, there's a message on the chat as well. So Joao sent me a message. You are live in 5 minutes on the backstage. Cool. So I now need to go to the backstage, and basically what needs to happen is that the organizer, the host, needs to set me as a speaker, and this has happened now. So you can see now that I'm now assigned a speaker, and what's happening as well is that there's now this new icon called backstage. This wasn't there before. This has just appeared as soon as I was made a speaker. So I now can enter the backstage by simply clicking on it, because I now saw the message that it's my turn in 5 minutes. If I wouldn't have seen the message, the organizer would have had the option to pull me back into this area. Joao has shown you earlier how you can move people around. So you can move people also to the backstage if they're missing their speech, for example. But in this case, I have still 5 minutes, so it's easy going. I can simply click enter the backstage. I confirm that we are using there some third parties that are embedded. And basically when you enter the backstage, there's another check to make sure that the camera and microphone have access. I can here select the correct camera that I have and make sure that the audio is also correct. You can see it here. You can also do a test again. And I can decide on the name that I want to show there. And say I want to be called Alex from Veertly. And then I need to say enter the broadcast studio. And entering here, this is the view how you will see it. I can see there's John now currently on stage. If he's presenting something, if he speaks, I can hear him. But he can also bring me then now on stage. You can see it here. I'm now on the show. Hi, Joao. Thanks for bringing me up on stage. And what you can see here now, this will be basically then live streamed to the main stage on the show. It's shown here on the show. I can mute myself. I can also stop the camera, but I can also now share my screen. So each of your presenters can share their screen if they want. And basically then the organizer, the host, can decide if the screen should be shared on stage or not. There's also a private chat here in the back end that the host can give some instructions to me when I should be ready and when not. But that's basically it. So I'm now here in the backstage, and all what you can see here now will be presented live to the main stage. And if I'm done, I can simply click on Leave Studio. Thanks for having me on stage, Joel. Bye-bye. Simply click Leave Studio, and then I could at any time go back to the main stage, for example, or to any other event area. So I'm really flexible. I'm not leaving the platform at all. I'm all staying in the same event, and I can really go backstage and then come back to the real to the other attendees as well. That's basically the features that your speakers will have. Basically, mainly access to the backstage to be live on the stream. Next is how we will show you. Next up is we will show you how to manage the whole event in the back end. So how to create the event, how to change the look and feel of the event, and all these things. This is the last part, but the most exciting part probably for you guys. So stay tuned.
Hello again. Now I'm going to show you how to create an event and how to manage all the configurations of your event via our Cockpit, the management interface of the event. So when you go to our Create Event page, you have this form that you need to fill in order to have your own event. You can specify the title of your event. You can set the URL that you want to have on your event. Please note that this URL can only be customized at this moment. Once it's set, it can no longer be changed. You can specify the website that will be shown on the entry page. You can set all the dates of your event, the start date, the end date, as well as when the event is open for your attendees. So how many minutes before the start date the event the participant can start joining the event, and after 15 minutes in this particular case, after the end date, everybody will be leaving the event at that time. Please note that once your event has started, you can no longer change the start date of your event, only the end date. You can also set the banner that is shown on the entry page, as well as the description of your event. This description currently is also shown on the lobby of your event, and participants will be able to see it during while attending your event. So for example, you can put here the agenda, some useful information for your attendees, because they will also be seeing that information during the event. You accept the terms and the privacy policies, create the event, and your event is created. So let's show you something that is already created on our platform, our demo template event. We'll start when you enter into the event. You come also to the cockpit. You come to the event details, which is exactly the same thing as the configurations that you have on the create event form. In this case, you can change all the configurations as well, and at the bottom you can save it, and this will be changed automatically for your attendees. On the access control area, you can define how you want your attendees, how you want to protect your event. So who can attend your event? You have three different modes. You have the free access that allows you to, anyone that, if it's selected, anyone that has the link of the event, they can enter. You can enable a password protect event, and in this case, you can specify the password of your event. So if you have this mode enabled, your participants, if they don't have they don't have an access right, they will need to set the password for your event. Or you can have just a guest list. So on the guest list, this means that only participants that are individually submitted in this form are allowed to enter the event. So in this case, we have two people, two guests on this event, and you can add more. Or you can also add a registration page to your event. You simply need to click enable the registration page. You can add more fields. You can change it as you wish for your registration template, for your registration form. This will be shown before the event is live for your attendees on the event page. You can configure and customize the registration email template. So when the participants register, they will receive this email, and you can customize it to your needs. And on the guest list itself, you have different ways to add new guests. One possibility is to manually add the new guest by clicking new guest there. You just need to add an email. For example, let me add another email, and you can add the emails. You can also specify the roles that the participants, that these guests will have. So you can automatically assign them as hosts or speakers when they log in the event. Or you can say that this participant, for example, is a VIP, and you add a tag for it. You add the guest is automatically added to your list, and you can see that is automatically allowed. The participants that register your event will come from this registration form. They will automatically be added on the guest list, but will not be allowed immediately, so that you can approve their access to the event or not. Another alternatively way to import your guests is through a CSV file. So you can just put here a CSV file, configure the different columns and the mappings, and import your guests. Once the guest is imported, you can see that there's an access link for your participants. This is their unique access link that will allow them to enter into the event. So they will connect with this link, and their profile will automatically be filled in. And you can trigger an email invite to your attendees by clicking send invite, or by selecting everybody and send invite as well. In order to customize the invite email, you can click here invite email template and customize it. If, for example, you want to revoke the access to this participant, you can, even if he's online, you can revoke the access, and the participant will no longer be able to enter the event, and his currently session will be disconnected as well. On the tag section, you can configure the tags that are available on your event and say if they are going to be shown on the user profiles. This is meaning when you open a participant's card, you see that there's a label saying that this tag is visible there. On the list of users, like the hosts and speakers, but if you want to have a different label there, but always visible for those participants, you can activate it. So by adding here, for example, sponsor tag, you can show that everybody that has the tag sponsor will have this label on the participants list. Or also, if you protect a room with a tag, you can mention that this room is VIP, for example, or only for sponsors. On the main stage, you have three different modes of the main stage. You have the video conference, where you can, it's just a normal video call. You just select it, and it automatically be a video call. You can have a live stream, where you need to configure your live stream URL. You can enable mini player, and you can also configure the backstage URL, where you can invite your speakers to. So you can use that. For that, you can use StreamYard, you can use Restream, or any other live stream studio that you want to have. Or alternatively, you can also embed a web application on the main stage by selecting Embedded App. On the configuration settings, you have several settings that you can customize. If you are not using our premium videos server, you can also customize your own Jitsi server. You can have some settings in terms of the event, if the attendees can create rooms, create pools, and so on. You can have your own custom support chat link. You can say that the lobby area now is embedding a different application. Same thing for the networking area or the pools area. If you don't want to use our native behavior, you can have your own web applications using in these different parts of the event. Now comes the nice part and how you can really have your event look and feel like your like what you want. In this area, you can say that you can change the labels of your you can change the label of the different areas. For example, you can say that this one is keynote. I don't want rooms, but I want to call it areas because you have different areas there. So you can easily enable or disable these areas. So I no longer need the keynote. So let's just have the areas. I don't want networking and nor pools, for example. Here on the theme colors, you can change all the colors of your event. Yeah, here I can, for example, put this blue on the top bar, as well as on the primary color. On the secondary color, let's put this red and change the logo of the event that's shown on the top bar. So the logo is changed. You can reset the theme, or you can change advanced colors to really fully customize the look and feel of your event. So let's have a look on the real event and now how it looks like. You can see it change completely live on the event, and you can change it even during the event. So for example, now it's the area of the keynote, so you can enable the keynote again, and you see that the keynote is now showing for everybody. So you can also drive your participants to different areas based on the selection that you have there. The social wall, it has some configurations in case you have this feature configured. On the attendees, you also have some, you can see all the attendees of your events. Here on the recordings, if you record the different rooms, they will be listed here. And on the dashboard area, you can see a chart of the different participants inside the event. You can download the users' activities, also some more information about the different rooms and how many participants were on each room and how much time they spent on it. All the details about the polls. If you have nominative polls, you can also get the results from here. So this would allow you to get a lot of insights from your events and improve for the following ones. If your event is not live, so if you schedule the event for the future, you, instead of having enter event, you'll have a button saying backdoor access. So this backdoor access allows you to enter the event even if it's not live yet. And it also allows you to share this link with other participants. For example, if you want to prepare that with your attendees, your speakers, and the other co-hosts, you can share this backdoor access and they will be able to enter into the event. And at the same time, you'll be able to reset this link if you know if it has been shared to someone else, to someone that should not have the access to. On here you have the link to your event. So this is the link that you can share with your participants, where they will have the join button as soon as the event is live. Or if you want to duplicate your event, if you have configured it and you want to have a second event, you can duplicate it here, and your event will be copied exactly as it is configured today. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and we hope to see you organizing events on our Veertly platform. We'll now have more personal interactions with you, so feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and we can discuss together your different use case and how can we tailor the platform to your needs. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to show you the Veertly platform. Have a good day.